What's up, guys? I am in the vegetable garden and it is like 52 degrees, so I'm a little overdressed. But hi Mila, getting ready to try to do one last pick on the garden and start putting it to rest. I've already started tearing a few things out. The flowers down at the bottom of the hill are done. They had a hard frost, turned brown, donezo. So they're mowed off, and if I get a chance, we'll go down there and I can kind of show you what it looks like, but it don't look like much. So let's get after trying to pick what's left of these tomatoes. What I'm finding here is still a few red tomatoes and a ton of peppers, like a ton of peppers. The peppers surprise me every year how hardy they are to the cold. Like, this still has blooms on it. The tomatoes, they're definitely showing signs of disease, browning. I think part of them got a little frost because I noticed that on some of my beans. And then the other thing is the chickens found a way into the garden, which is not hard, but they just hadn't figured it out all season. So there's a few eaten up here and there, but I'm going to collect what I can. So one of the things that I am doing a little bit is actually collecting a few of the big green tomatoes. And I know you can make green salsa. I'm going to throw that one out of green tomatoes, kind of like how you make salsa out of tomatillos. And I've had that in the past and it was really, really good. It's like a salsa verde or something. And so I might look up a recipe and try to do that with some of these. As of right now, I haven't done anything. I am just preserving them by freezing them. And then I'll go back through and process. So to freeze them and make processing a lot easier, it's called a core and score. So you cut the core out, and then on the bottom, you just like cut a little X, you score it. And that way when you cook it down, that makes the skin really easy, comes right off. So I actually proved that method when my brother and I did a little bit of canning earlier this season, and it worked awesome. Let's just do a little tour. So here's a good example of something I did wrong that I'm going to remember for next year. So I used the landscape fabric, the DeWitt Sunbelt, which I highly recommend. And I thought I did the spacing okay. My brother helped me and we took like a can. Well, actually the first time he took a sink drain plug and attached it to what I think was part of a swing set, and it worked really well, but the metal eventually gave out and it snapped off. But the sink drain plug worked awesome, and I'm gonna reuse it. I still have it. So anyway, point is, error that we made was in spacing these tomatoes, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so here are some tomatoes. So you can see my hole right there, and one right here, and another one hiding over here. And then there's a Mila in the way. Okay, thank you. And then there's even another one over here. So you know how tomatoes are. Like, look at this. They're beasts. So this was way, way too close together. Another little tip here. So, it broke off now. But look, you can still read that. So this is a garden marker. And I highly recommend using garden marker to write out your labels. If they stay, and who knows what happened here, the writing actually stays on there. If you use a regular marker, it'll bleed and fade out and you won't even be able to see it. So there you go. If you go back to when I first planted the garden, I think I recorded this, I put like 4 tomato plants in the ground before I had the weed fabric down, so there's no weed fabric around them. They mostly had cages, and I put some like paper mulch down around them, and they did okay. But as far as a compare and contrast to the weed fabric, take a look. All right, so you can see a blitzy. All right, so it doesn't look like this one has a cage. Oh yeah, there's a cage in there. There's the cage. So like, I mean, I got tomatoes off of it. And then maybe there's another one. There's the cage. This one, there are a few in there. This is just stuff I ripped out. This is not growing over here. I just ripped it out yesterday. So you can kind of see the paper mulch, and there's the other one. Like, it just disintegrated. So I think that was the tomato. And then there's a bunch of weeds, obviously. So I started out weeding around this. And then, oh, there it is. You can see some dried up yellow tomatoes on it. So that really, like, proves my point about the weed fabric, but it also proves my point that you can, you're still gonna get produce even with a neglected garden. So even with this disaster, there's still tomatoes in here. There are good tomatoes. Like, I believe this is a bush cherry, which has become one of my favorites because it's so prolific. It's delicious. So, if your garden looks like this, don't give up on it. There's still produce in there. It's just kind of a mess to get to. Which is why the weed fabric is so cool, because it makes it so much easier to get to. So you want to be out here, so you want to take care of it more, and it's just a circle. This, you don't want to come out here to this. It's a disaster, but you should, because there's still stuff in there. So here's something that I think is kind of cool. These beans right here are rattlesnake beans, and this is what they look like. I pick them when they're still like green. They're freaking delicious. Sorry, my hair. Like, they're so stinking good. And everybody that I say they're called rattlesnake beans is like, oh, they probably taste, or they sound like rattlesnakes when you shake. Well, all beans do. I think it's because of the color, but maybe I should do some more research before I go spouting off about it. But anyway, the cool thing about these is I've got like 6 right here. These are a different kind. And I actually grew them from seeds that I saved. So hopefully I can save even more. I think I only saved like 8 and grew 6 plants. So, sorry, this is rude. Eating and talking to you with my mouth full. So anyway, if you can save seeds, like bean seeds are obviously one of the easiest ones to save, do it. Because it's kind of cool. It makes it like a little piece of history in your garden. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I know I didn't get to show you the flowers. I am not done with this at all. Like, I don't know how much you can see behind me there, but I still have a long way to go. I think we could get more frost, or like the first real frost that'll hit this hill. Hi, Luna. Really any time. It looked like Monday was going to be the coldest. It's Thursday today, but I thought I'm going to come out and get what I can, because if you let, especially the ripe fruit, freeze, like it just gets mushy and just no bueno. So I wanted to get what I could. And this is what I've got. So I got a pretty good box. So I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. If you've got your garden, even if it looks like that, go check it out. You might be surprised what's in there. Catch you on the next one. Later.